Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. Um, all right. Welcome and thank you all for joining Austin Coming Together, aka ACT, the Austin Community Hub and i.c.stars for our first virtual Hub 101 of 2021. Yay! My name is Janelle Martin, and I am the Hub Coordinator with ACT. ACT is a backbone agency for collective impact, serving a network of nonprofit, faith-based public and private member organizations. The Austin Community Hub is a safe space to intentionally and thoughtfully engage disconnected families and individuals in collaboration with our in collaboration with our member base to securely connect community members to holistic services such as career counseling, housing, continuing education, legal assistance, and many more things. Part of these services include informing our community members about the different organizations we work with and the great resources they have to offer. So we created Hub 101s. Today we will be talking tech with our wonderful member organization, i.c.stars. i.c.stars works to activate a technology community of change agents to power social and economic freedom, working with low-income young adults, providing them with employment opportunities, and preparing them for community-based advocacy allows i.c.stars to achieve their social purpose. And with that, I would love to introduce you all to Larry Cowens and Marlon Exton from i.c.stars. The floor is all yours.
Hey, thanks, Janelle. Again, just want to introduce my cohort here, Marlon. He's going to be chiming in from time to time. And we also have another one, Miss Saini. She's our Director of Programming and Transformational Learning. She may jump in toward the end of the event here, but you may hear from both of those. And if you do apply, which we hope you do, those will be the two main contacts that you'll reach out to. Marlon, feel free and go ahead and say hey.
Hi, everybody. Yes, as Larry said, my name is Marlon Exton. I'm a recruitment manager, and I am excited to talk with all of you about i.c.stars. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks. And then just a real quick thank you to Janelle, to Alicia, to Sandra, to Diera. You guys have been working with us and working with our schedule. We really appreciate it. We were super excited to be part of the Hub 101 event. So just thanks. We just want to say thanks for that. So we got our slide up, and we're here to talk about i.c.stars, just a gem in the city of Chicago. And I'm really hoping that a lot of you look at the website after this and take some of this information and apply it, or tell somebody that didn't attend and just get them the information, right? So that's how I heard about it, and a lot of other residents, alums, and interns. We all hear about it through word of mouth from other people. So even if you could pass the information on that, it'd be great. So here's the first slide, right? We put talent together to work, right? We find people in the city that just like technology. They think they have a future in technology, but for whatever reason, they just can't get their foot in the door or get a deeper learning of the technology, right? So we try to find these people and we try and put that talent to work, right? Obviously, once they learn and we can teach them a few things. So on our next slide, it's the big what if. And what if today was the start of your career in tech? Think about that question for a second. What if today was the start of your career in tech? What would you do? Where would you work? There's so many different fields inside of tech that you could take part in. Now, that's the question that we usually ask going into i.c.stars. And at the end of i.c.stars, which is a 4-month internship, we usually ask the question, where would you be if you didn't find i.c.stars? Now that you can kind of clearly see your future going forward. So what if today was the start of your career in tech? So who we are, all right? i.c.stars is an immersive technology-based leadership training program for promising adults. So we want to unlock your potential. Our intensive workforce development program will launch your career. So let's just take that right there first. Once you're learning for 4 months and you're kind of just going through everything you go through in an internship, there's still a 20-month residency after that. And that's where our workforce kind of comes into to play here. So it's not like, hey, the internship is done. What do I do now? We have people behind the scenes and, sitting with you directly, getting you set up for the next phase of your career. And you may say, hey, I don't know what I want to do. Well, throughout the cycle, we call the classes or the internship cycles. So throughout the cycle, you get to meet people from different companies, different walks of life, and they may present you with different opportunities. So one of the key aspects of the internship is to network, right? You may not know where you want to work, but throughout the internship, you may come across somebody that works somewhere that piques your interest. The next bullet point here is leadership is about more than high test scores. Our program draws on the strength of those who have overcome adversity. A lot of times we put emphasis on your grades. What was your test score? Oh, somebody got a 96. They must be smarter than the person that got a 72. Right? They're surely smarter than the person that got a 48, right? But then what if that person hasn't had adversity in their life, right? How about all the other factors that come into place when you're in a corporate environment or a working environment or a community environment when you're just helping other people, right? Sometimes the test scores can tell where you are, maybe book sense wise, but there's also the common sense and just practicality of living life and knowing your neighbor. And i.c.stars does a really good job of cultivating the adversity that people have had in their lives and using that as a strength, right? Reassuring you that what you've been through can be used in a corporate environment and it can be used as a benefit to you going forward. This third bullet point here, the program takes commitment, but we give you the tools to succeed through 2 years of coaching and support. So there's a commitment. There's a 12-hour-a-day commitment for 4 months. But once you get in, that first 2 or 3 weeks, it becomes a way of life, right? It's almost simplified to a sense where you wake up every day and you look forward to what am I going to do today for these next 12 hours, right? And you'll find yourself probably studying even more than those 12 hours in your own time. We recently had a commencement last Friday, a graduation of our Cycle 48. And a lot of the interns were just saying, wow, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do tomorrow? Because they were so caught up. It seemed tough at the beginning, but it just became a way of life. And they really took to the learning and took to the program and took to the commitment. So beyond that commitment, the interns did graduate Friday. What am I going to do tomorrow? Well, tomorrow you're going to do the same thing you did Friday, the same thing you did Thursday, the same thing you did Wednesday. You're going to wake up, you're going to get back on the grind, right? And i.c.stars still has that 2 years of coaching and support with multiple resources that we'll get to a little further down here in the slides.
Real quick, just want to check in. I can see, I want to acknowledge that we see that some of you can't hear. And so we're going to try to work these things out from our end. Larry, I don't know if you could turn up your volume. I'm turning up my volume. Can you all hear me? Just, give me a thumbs up or let me know if you can hear me. We want to make sure that you hear this information as well as see it. So if you guys can let us know. Okay, all right, so we got some thumbs up. So yeah, Larry, from your end, if you just want to, if you could turn your volume up on your device, I think that'll come through a little bit clearer. But yeah, we're glad you guys are here. So just stay with us. We have a lot of great stuff to share with you. So, but thank you. Please continue.
How's this? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, Marlon?
I can hear you. Let's see. I'm seeing from Brandon. Hey, Brandon, we see that you can hear me. Can you hear my colleague Larry?
Hey, Brandon.
All right, I'm getting a thumbs up. All right, I think we're rocking and rolling here.
All right. Was it Brandon's volume? No, I'm just joking. Hey, so does this mean they want to stay longer and I should start over? I'll speak a little louder here going forward, and hopefully, if you guys see it again, if you can't hear me, just let Marlon know, let Janelle know. They're pretty thorough on that end. They can see all the comments coming in, and we are saving the questions and things like that for the end. But if there is a technical difficulty, definitely jump in and say something. We don't want you to miss the information. Thanks, Marlon. All right. So that was, kind of unlocking your potential, right? Yeah. So yeah, a lot of times we worry about what field we're going to go in and what we're going to do, but it's just about your potential. The biggest thing here is, are you interested in technology? If that answer is yes, then you have all the potential in the world to move forward with this program. Thank you. So this slide gets updated every 2 years. 2 years ago, it was 500,000 open jobs in tech. In 2019, 700,000, and if things keep going, we'll see another 200 to 250,000, 200 to 250,000 open tech jobs in 2021, and that annual report should be coming out at the end of August. So as of 2019, as we can see here, the U.S. has over 700,000 open tech jobs. Information technology is currently the largest occupational category for open jobs. The number of jobs is growing faster than any other industry. And we all know that automation is a big thing, and automation comes from technology. A lot of the manual labor things are kind of going out, and whether they're being replaced by people that can program or robots, it's happening. So if you can get in on tech now and get a tech job, it's just a better future for yourself and your family. Taking a look at the right side of the screen here, let's talk a little bit about the i.c.stars alumni. There's a 90% job placement rate. So we talked about the workforce development a couple of slides ago. And once you graduate the internship or commence, they like to use the word commence, from the internship, you become a resident for 20 months. But within that time, we have a 90% job placement rate. Some of those are internships at companies. Some of those are full-time positions. And we encourage anyone that commences from the program to find the position that's right for you. A lot of times we're so excited to just jump out there and say, I got me a tech job, I'm running with it. But sometimes it's about atmosphere, it's about environment, it's about fit. So it's okay if someone you commence with gets a job the first day out. It's okay if you wait 2-3 months. I had a coworker, he got a really great job probably 3 months after we commenced. And he stayed and he studied more and he studied more, and he ended up getting the position that was right for him. So just because it's your last day doesn't mean it's your last day. You can still grow in other areas and find the position that's best for you. 81% working in the tech sector. So that just, that number is just, it is what it is here. 81% of the people that commence, they go into tech. The other 19%, some of them start their own companies, and sometimes it's not always with tech. Maybe some start a photography company, right? They're still using some of their digital literacy and their tech mindset to promote other businesses, but 81% go right into tech. There's a 300% average salary increase after the program. Again, i.c.stars has been around, and we'll get some more information on i.c.stars, the history of i.c.stars coming up here. But over the last 20 years, we've seen that there's been a 300% average salary increase after the program. So that just works wonders for itself. And I talked a little bit, not in this event, but before when we were talking with Janelle and some of the people over at Boston Coming Together. 300% is a weird number. That can be, money in your pocket, right? That can be income. But it also can just be savings, right? If you get employed at a company and they do things like tuition reimbursement, that's money you get to keep in your pocket, And a lot of times, a lot of these companies do tuition reimbursement, right? You maintain a B or C average in your class, and you get to get 80 to 100% reimbursement on your tuition. So if you want to go for your bachelor's or master's degree after the internship, it's more than doable. And it can save you money. And then this last one here, $22 per hour, average starting hourly rate after becoming a resident. That's kind of like the go-to for a lot of companies. That goes up a little bit, but a lot of companies like to bring you in and see where you fit in best, see what your knowledge skill set is, and once you have shown that you can do the job, professional, kind of competent in certain areas. There's kind of a fast track in technology, right? Nobody just sits there and gets, I don't want to speak for every company, but I've witnessed that. From what I've seen, there's not just an annual, hey, you get a 2% raise here, 2% raise there. I've seen people say, okay, we're moving you to a different position, and usually that comes with more responsibilities, which comes with a higher pay grade as well. Marlon, I don't know if you want to add anything yet.
Absolutely. So I don't know, just something to get everyone excited about this. So we're definitely giving you these tools to enter this sector. This sector, when we're talking about our average starting hourly rate, $22 an hour, like that's $40K plus to start, right? Just that is life changing in terms of if you've been someone who maybe you came from a role where you were making 15, maybe you came from a role where you're making 17, right? That can change a lot. Also, just the government monitors information tech jobs, right? And as of this year, the median income for information technology is $91,000. What does that mean? That means that that's right in the middle. There is astronomical room for growth in this field. And i.c.stars is getting you in that door, right? So you're already getting an immediate transformation in your life by going through this 4 months and then starting work, making 22 or even higher an hour, who knows, right? And then you're getting an opportunity to grow in a company. You're getting medical coverage, you're getting tuition reimbursement, you're getting professional development, and you're getting the ability to climb that salary. Maybe you'll be one of those people to meet the median, maybe go even higher than that, But there is so much room for growth in this field, and it's only projected to grow even more. We're at 700,000 now. There's projecting in 10 years that it'll be over 1 million. So there are jobs out there, really good jobs. It's just taking this integral first step. So I definitely, for some of you, I know $22 an hour, you might be like, wow, that is there more? Some of you might be like, wow, that's more than I make. But I absolutely can let you know the government backs me up on this. There is absolutely more to be made by pursuing this career.
Yeah, and I can hear you very clearly, Marlon. And we're going to talk about that last slide after this, Marlon. I think we should think about changing some of the wording. I think jobs should become careers. And that's one thing I noticed in my life, right? My dad, my grandparents, they were all, hey, get a good job, keep a good job. Get a good job, keep a good job. And by going through i.c.stars, I use the term career now, and my kids use the term career and entrepreneurship. So just that amount of growth in one generation, just going through i.c.stars has opened our eyes up and our mind up and our learning up and other things to just thinking bigger. So it's a career-based organization. So that goes with what you were saying with growth there, Marlon. All right, i.c.stars DNA. This is, if you guys don't know Sandy Cash, I don't know what she's been doing the last 20 years, but she's just an amazing person. She is a doer, right? A lot of us say, oh, I would like to go do this. Sandy got up and did it, and she made it possible. She changed people's lives, right? She changed generations of people's lives. And if it wasn't Sandy, right, there could be another organization, but I give my thanks to Sandy, right? She directly impacted my life. She is i.c.stars co-founder and CEO. So we'll go clockwise here and just take a look at the DNA of i.c.stars. And we'll start with empathy, right? Willingness to see from another perspective, values, diversity of thought. So walking in another's shoes, right? So sometimes we all think we're right. I know for sure I'm never wrong. So i.c.stars kind of taught me that, so walk in somebody else's shoes. Like, think about it. And the perspective is amazing, right? It opens you up to listening, which is a key factor in business and in just life, right? A lot of people, we sometimes we hear and we wait to reply. But sometimes you have to listen, right? You got to see what another person is thinking. You got to think about their perspective, and you have to value diversity. So these are some of the core DNA things that i.c.stars is built off of, and you'll see that DNA once you get into the internship. It just kind of just get into you, and then you'll start doing the same thing in your community. Here we go: innovation, creativity, resourcefulness, and critical thinking. A lot of times, there's just ingenuity, creativity, and critical thinking. Like, we all have it every single day. And we just brush it off sometimes. We say, oh, that doesn't mean anything. Nobody would want to use that. Nobody. But imagine if you had the tools to create what you were thinking. I heard somebody say the other day, this is actually at commencement, that after going through i.c.stars and learning how to code, it was like playing with Legos for an adult, right? A kid can sit in a room with a bunch of Legos and just kind of build little things here, right? We build little cars, we build towers, the Sears Tower and things like that, or Willis Tower, I'm sorry, if anybody younger than me, you don't know how old I am. And so we build things, right? So coding is that's what coding is for adults, right? We can see it in our minds and we can just build it, right? We can make these websites. We're streaming because somebody coded, right? We're on Facebook Live and we're having this event. We don't all have to sit in a room with masks on, right? We can do this live. So this is their Lego box, right? So innovation, critical thinking, and creativity. Reciprocity, giving gifts, thinking outside of oneself to make opportunities for others. This is all about giving back. i.c.stars, throughout the internship, they do a gift giving throughout your cycle, and you have to give a gift, right? You got to say good things about people, or just give something from the heart. It can't be about yourself. It doesn't have to be a physical object of monetary value. It's just something from within that you want other people to either know about you or know about themselves, right? So that's huge. Inspiration, the ability to spark ideas in others and motivate others to action and service. And that's, again, we're going back to community, right? It's once you get on your feet, you want to be able to spark ideas in others. You want people to see you. You want people to be motivated by you. And you want them to take action, and you want to do this through service. This is something that we can all learn from. Adaptability. This kind of goes back to empathy up here. Listening and adapting behaviors to ensure clear communications and new solutions. So be able to adapt. You know, you have to, you may be in an environment that you've never been in before. One of the things that got me really hung up on i.c.stars is, I remember my first day. It was in a loft downtown Chicago, and I had never been in anything like that before in my life, right? That was something that I had only seen on TV. And I got there, and I instantly felt cool. But it was a new environment, right? I had to adapt. You know, what did I have to do to adapt? Just kind of read the room, see where I fit in. I had to listen to others and see the behaviors, right? And then I became a better communicator by being in a better environment. It really helped me grow throughout my career going forward. And then resiliency, bouncing back. So taking responsibility for outcomes, regardless of predefined roles, and maintaining objectivity and using emotional intelligence to lead others. That's loaded, right? So let's just unpack a little bit of it first. Taking responsibility for outcomes regardless of predefined roles. I can give you an example. I'm on a team at work, and somebody didn't fill their portion of the job. I won't say their name. Even if I did, they wouldn't know today. But we're a team, right? So that falls on all of us, right? My coworker kind of took the attitude was, well, they're not giving me enough information, so they're kind of going to get what I give them. And I'm like, no, you should dig a little deeper and let's just meet with them, right? A lot of things go through email. Nobody wants to meet. So I took some responsibility for that. I got talking to. I say that. And then instead of, nobody got thrown under the bus, we just regrouped later on that day. We got with the customer and we fixed everything. So even though it may not be your role, if you're on a team, sometimes you got to take responsibility for what is produced on that team. And maintaining objectivity and using emotional intelligence to lead others. You never know who's looking. You never know who's listening. So always, just perform and do your best. These are other DNA things that you'll learn in i.c.stars. And this can, again, like Marlon said, promote growth in your company through resilience. Thank you. Here's a quick and easy slide. I get to say less words. Where we are, i.c.stars. Chicago is the first location the National i.c.stars Network launched in 1999. Like I mentioned before, Cycle 48, Class 48, just graduated, commenced this past Friday. I was part of Cycle 2. So if we started in 99, I wasn't 6 when I started. You got to be at least 18. So that was 20 years ago. And this program has grown and has a history of growth. It has a history of success. And you can define success, but we define it as putting people to work, and getting the best out of them and changing families and incomes and things like that, and giving back to the communities. So that was in '99, and we're currently in Chicago, Milwaukee, and Columbus. How it works. All right. So you've heard the word internship quite a few times today. So how does it work, right? What is this all about? So first learn, then thrive. First crawl, then walk, right? This is kind of like the thing that we do. So it's a 4-month internship, like I've said a few times here. So there's a couple of things that happen in this 4-month internship. And I know we're saving questions for the end. So take a look at some of these bullet points. And if you have questions about any of these bullet points, just throw them in the chat, and we'll try to circle back and address these if you're unsure about what some of them mean. Marlon has all the answers, okay? So the 4-month internship, there's coding classes, there's agile methodology training, resume building workshops, social justice workshops, daily high-T meetings with executives. And I just want to say, everybody's not an executive. It's really just all walks of life, right? Anybody that you may be able to pull from and learn from, or people that just want to contribute, right? We talked a few slides ago about giving back and doing things like that. Like, people come to these high Ts. High Ts happen every single day. If anybody has a question about high Ts, we have a section on our website about them, or you can ask in the chat. Networking events, these happen all throughout your cycle. Mock interviews and job shadows. And this first learned 4-month internship is going to give you a really good balance of who you are, what you want to do, what you've learned, where you're going, where you're at, how to build bridges. It's just everything is packed in. Again, it's every day. So imagine being part of some of these bullet points every single day for 4 months. It's just going to get into you at some point. Then thrive, right? The residency program. So there's 4 months of the internship, and there's another 20 months of residency before you come an alum. I've been out for several years, so I'm an alum, right? So here's some of the things that happen within the residency program. There's access to employment opportunities, career service support, continued access to a laptop, development opportunities, so anything that you want to learn further, or because technology does change and grow every day, maybe there's a new coding language or a new project management style you want to learn, those things are still there for you to learn. Personal and professional counseling. I had a bad day. I just need to talk to somebody about it. Maybe somebody you live with doesn't understand the whole scope of everything that's happening at your job or you're at the place of your career, and you want to come in and get some professional and personal counseling on that. Tech and leadership workshops, college enrollment assistance, and invitations to i.c.stars events. So it's just a gift that keeps on giving here at i.c.stars.
Just want to add in a little bit, Larry, and really want people to understand the exact reason why residency is so important. And I know that people who might be listening, you certainly have this experience, but the first year of the job is the hardest, right? That first 90-day period where pretty much anything could snatch that job away from you, but life happens, right? We want to make sure that you have all of the support you need so that you can go in every single day and perform to your best. That's why we have this 20-month residency program, right? We want to get you past that $22 an hour, right? And that means staying there past a year. We want to get you to that healthcare. That means staying there past 90 days, right? So we want you to not only look forward to this residency program, but really absorb all of the things that you're being offered. In addition to that, I just want to make one other quick note about high T meetings. So Larry mentioned that it's not always executives. I want to just add to the point that there are people who participate in high Ts who were former interns, and those former interns are now in positions of authority, right? And so what makes that so special? It's not only that you're meeting with executives, but you're forming relationships with the future chief information officers and future business owners, right? You're going to have a Rolodex full of bosses
perhaps yourself included. So that's why all of this stuff is so valuable. And I just really want to convey what you are getting here.
Nice, Marlon. Way to chime in with the industry leaders, the health insurance and things like that, and don't forget the important Christmas bonuses. So here we go. Paid internship. This is, everybody's like, well, what does it cost me to be part of i.c.stars? It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you your time. It costs you your mind. Come be part of it. So it's a paid internship. There's 4 months, 1,000 hours. And if you look at the graph here, it's just, a couple points here. This doesn't sum it all up, right? But there's a team week at the beginning. There's a career month at the end. And in between, so team week is, you're obviously in this internship with 15 people that you've never met before, somewhere between 15 to 20, 10 to 20 people that you've never met before. So let's build together, right? We're not just going to throw you in and be like, all right, code your first language today. It's who's sitting next to you, right? What is the atmosphere here? What is the environment? Like, let's get to a ground zero first with each other and what we're supposed to be doing here, and then we'll move forward, right? So we build you up from day one, and we start working with everybody starts to work as a team, and building and cultivating with each other. And then you go into these sprints, right? We see 3 sprints here, and these sprints are just projects. And the cool thing about these projects, they come from companies, right? They're projects that you really get from a company, and they say, hey, we want you to work on this project, and as a team, you're going to break up into teams. You get to name your company. It's not even just a team. Like, hey, I play for the Bulls. It's your company name. You guys get a company name. You get a company logo. And this is your company going through i.c.stars, right? And you represent your company. I go to the high teas, and they have like little banners up, their company names. It's a really cool feeling. It's a very empowering, right? When you're on your team or you're running your company, and it's a really cool and surreal feeling. You can't wait to get back the next day because you have a company to run. But it's cool. You learn a lot. So outside of those 2 sprints, there's a geek week, and it's you just learn. There's a bunch of different hurdles kind of thrown at you throughout the process, and there's I don't know how to say, like mile markers, like tasks and deliverables you have to hit at certain times and certain points, but you just geek out. Everybody's geeking out. There's coaches there to help you. You're not on an island by yourself. There's people there. You do a little bit of research, you get stuck, you ask a question, they got you. And just geek week, just get the work done. And then the end is career month. Hey, what'd you learn? What'd you learn at the end of this? I mean, what'd you learn throughout the internship? Did you find a path or a career that really sparked your interest? At one of these high teas and your new Rolodex with all these new network, this web of network that you now have. Did you meet somebody you want to reach back out to? And you could have been staying in touch with them the entire time. You don't have to wait till you commence to say, hey, remember me from 3 months ago? I met you at high tea. You can, the next day, you can shoot me an email. Hey, I really like what you had to say. I really like what you had to say. I just want to reach out, introduce myself. And they'll say something like, hey, let me know when you graduate. Let me know if you're working on it, if you need anything, and just reach out. And you just start building your network. I want to use another word here. I don't know if it's in another slide or not. Mentorship, right? Like, be open to having a mentor. My eyes weren't all the way open when I was going through this internship, but it's a lot. We have a lot of alum now, and we come back and we talk. So outside of networking, find a mentor. If you see somebody that you kind of have a good vibe with, and you guys communicate well, and you say, you know what, it could be male, female, it could be whoever you want it to be. And titles don't matter either. If you think you can learn from them, they can guide you and help you throughout the process, even after the internship. Definitely be open to having a mentor. And then just a couple quick bullet points at the bottom here. I think we're good on time. Just 3 quick things. There's technical training, leadership development, and project-based learning. And that's kind of what the graph shows, right? With the team week, sprints, geek week, and career month. And just kind of breaks it all down from there.
Hi, everyone. So I also want to make sure as much as possible that you are all hearing me clearly. So again, like I said, we're monitoring the chat, and whatever can be done to help out is what we'll do. But just want to give you guys an idea of what this 16 weeks looks like. So we're actually, understanding everyone's life has become different with this pandemic. But we still want to keep the spirit of what i.c.stars is all about and continue that continue that support and continue that guidance. So all of the things that we would have done in-house, there are also virtual ways to do them. So what you're looking at right here is you're looking at a high T, right? And so you're all given a laptop when you become i.c.star interns, so that you're able to plug in into this high T, and you're able to, again, not only pour into this group, but also be poured into, whether it's from alums, whether it's from guests, whether it's from executives. But in addition to that, when you guys are interacting with each other, when you're all doing projects, when you're all learning lessons, when you're all moving towards your certifications and your developments, you'll be able to do not only your operations from your laptop, whether it's at home or whether it's, someplace that's convenient for you, but you'll also get an opportunity to come into the studio. And this is a entrepreneur's dream. It's very hard to show you when we're just looking on the screen, but you're going to go in there and you're going to say, this looks like a tech hub startup, right? And we want to be able to give you that sense of, oh my gosh, I am becoming an entrepreneur. I am becoming a leader, or I am growing my own leadership. We want to make sure that everyone is coming in and getting poured into. So you'll be using these platforms, you'll be doing these different activities, but all of it is just designed to help you become that confident, budding IT professional. Thanks, Janelle. We're going to move to the next one. So we're actually going to have a whole section of questions. We just wanted to put some of these out there. These are very common questions. We're absolutely going to address them during the question and answer portion. I really want to direct your attention to the right side of the screen, right? Because you might be wondering, where am I going to find work, right? And so these are some of the companies that have been able to employ our residents right out the gate. And this is really important. What I want people to understand is, after this 16 weeks, I mean, your opportunities to enter in the workforce are going to come like that. I'll give you an example. We just celebrated a graduation of interns this past Friday, and Monday we've already gotten 3 people who will be receiving offers, right? And they brag because their office will be in the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower. I don't call it that. It'll be in the Sears Tower. But that just goes to show you that, and not only that, we have other people who are doing interviews. Our manager, who couldn't join us today, she's prepping them for interviews this week and in the next couple of weeks. So we really get moving once you complete this program. So I just wanted you to see some of the places you can work. Accenture, great company. Hewitt, CDW. We have some Microsoft people. And then there might be companies that you haven't even seen up here, but they're going to give you really quality employment with lots of room for growth. So these are some of the frequently asked questions. And then also there'll be room, if you look at the next slide, for any other questions that you might have. So no question is a bad question, and we're here to answer those for you. All right. Thanks so much, Janelle. So I really want to get everyone's attention for this, because we're going to go to the next slide. Our last cycle for 2021 begins August 30, right? And so if you think that this is something for you, if you think that this is something to benefit you, the time to start your application is right now. And so as a recruitment manager, I'm going to be the person who is helping to walk you through that application process, just to give you an idea of what you can expect. And I want to make this clear. This is definitely a little bit more than your traditional job application, and that's for a reason, right? So if you look at the next screen, we'll walk through it. So if you're interested in applying, and I know this might address some questions, don't worry, you can ask repeats. That's totally fine. But we really look for these minimum requirements to start. We're looking for someone who's at least 18, right? Someone who is a GED recipient or a high school graduate. You can also have some college, even though we're not accepting bachelor's degrees. But there is opportunities if you've had some college. We're looking for people who've had at least 6 months of full-time work experience. It does not have to be a consistent 6 months, right? We're just looking for people who've had an opportunity to work before. We're looking for people who are able to commit to that 16 weeks, right? We're essentially condensing what is, for some people, 2 years, 4 years worth of information and education and certification. We're condensing that into 16 weeks. So we need all of that time. Every day, every hour counts. So we need you to be able to commit to yourself to give that 16 weeks, to give your 100% that 16 weeks. The ability to uphold and honor an on-time, no absences policy. And again, not only is that to make sure that you learn everything you need to know in the 16 weeks, it's also to make sure that you keep that that new position that you're going to get after the 16 weeks at that company, right? Because they're going to be watching at 90 days, right? And so if you can keep this 16 weeks, you can keep that 90 days, no problem. You'll need the ability to get to the i.c.stars office. It's downtown. It's located at 415 North Dearborn, easily accessible by public transportation. That's how I get there. And so just making sure that you're there when you need to be. And this is also equally important. Someone who is motivated to drive social change, right? We are definitely here to get really great careers, right? Transform our lives, transform our families, but we're also here to transform communities and transform this city, right? And so you're going to be challenged in how can you take the gifts that you're going to be, that you're going to have, the talent that you're going to be nurtured, that's going to be nurtured in you, and the opportunities that you're going to receive, and how are you going to give back? That is going to be something that, and give back to your family, give back to your community, give back to your city. That is something that we are looking for through this application process. So it's a lot in the sense that we're looking for the new leaders, right? And that's what the application process is going to help us see. So what am I saying? The reason why we have so many applications, statements, assessments is to gauge your potential, right? We understand that not everyone is already there. I'm not even a entrepreneur, but I understand the potential, right? We all have the potential in us, and that's what we're trying to find out during these applications and during these assessments. The first thing you have to do is attend an info session, and that's what today is. So you've done that. Congratulations, you're already starting with step 2. And then in step 2, you're going to indicate that you're interested in moving forward. And my contact information is going to be on the last slide, so you'll be able to email me, and we'll get you started on the application. There'll be some statements, right? We're going to ask you to write, but we just want you to be able to share a little bit about who you are. And there are going to be some assessments, and they're going to give you an idea of how you'll be challenged in the program, right? Larry talked about Lego blocks, so we're going to see how you work with some mental Lego blocks. And then lastly, there's going to be a panel interview. And the panel interview is going to ask you a few existential questions because we want to know you as an individual. Not you as a worker, but you as the individual future leader you're planning to become, right? My role is to shepherd you through all of that. So we have multiple sessions a year, but I really want to encourage you because the last one that's going to happen is starting August 30. You have 4 weeks, and that's plenty of time to get the application completed if we work together. So I encourage everyone who is interested and feels like they are looking for a transformation in their lives like this, to give yourselves and give i.c.stars an opportunity to make it happen. So next slide, I think, is my contact information. So again, feel free to reach out to me at Marlon Exton or mexton at i.c.stars.org. I'm eagerly awaiting your emails. Also, you can call 312-640-3850, and if you'd like to get more information, but I'm here to help you. I absolutely would love to work with anyone who's interested in i.c.stars and see if the fit is right. So thank you guys for letting me talk for as long as I did. And I think we're at the question portion. So if there are specific questions, let's do it.
We are. Thank you, Larry and thank you, everyone. Larry and oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Words are not coming to me right now. It's just that kind of day. I'm so excited that I can't talk. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You did a fabulous job. We do have a couple questions, so we're going to jump right into them. So we have a question from Dev, and it's, what if I have a bachelor's degree? I am not allowed to apply? I know that was already discussed. How can we kind of figure that out for Dev?
So Dev, I'm actually reaching out to you. Sorry, not Larry. I apologize. I'm thinking of Larry, but I would absolutely still be willing to engage you individually. Let's talk through it. I'll engage the director of the program, and let's see if there's a fit. These are the rules that we are absolutely looking to help people with, but there are exceptions to every rule, and so the door isn't closed. If that helps you, so just feel free to reach out to me, send me an email. Let's connect and see if this can work together. Okay? Awesome.
Thank you so much, Deb. I hope that helps out. And if you're not able, if you need the email again, I'll pop it up before we close out for this afternoon. If anybody also needs contact and wasn't able to get contact information for any i.c.stars, all the hub contact information is going to be available as well, and you can reach out to us and we'll make that connection for you. One of the other questions we have is, since it is such a commitment, are there resources available to people who may have children or family members that they're needing to take care of?
Great question. So this is a little bit of a two-edged sword. We do have staff on hand who is there to help you navigate through all of that. Whether you have home issues that you need to deal with, childcare issues, health issues, whatever you need to deal with, we want to be able to help you through that. The important thing is this, though. We do need you to commit to that 16 weeks. And this program is very much what you put in is what you get out, right? And so that means engaging whatever supports that you have to help you make the 16 weeks. Because remember, this 16 weeks is going to help you find roles that will transform your life, right? Like if childcare is an issue now, which completely understand, imagine how you can address that issue making $45K to start, right? So we absolutely do have staff members who can help you navigate that. But with everything, it's going to be a challenge. I respect that. It's going to be a challenge. And I think this was a question also. We do help with a $200 stipend every week. And again, understand that that's not a lot of money, but it's designed to help a little bit, right? The idea is that the cost of this program, right? The cost of this program every year is somewhere between $21,000 and $25,000. This is something that we are absolutely pouring into anyone who wants to change their life. So reach out. If the program is a fit, we'll connect you with our case manager, and we'll see if we can make those other parts really valid challenges. We'll make sure that there are plans in place to address those.
Hey, can I chime in real quick on that one? Just to let you know, when I went through the program, I was a teenage father myself. So I'm really glad that I got on my mom's nerves and my brother's nerves, because I needed that help, right? And I just had to put things to the side. I just had to say, I need help. You know, if your family or anybody you know can just step up for you and help out for these 4 months, it's super crucial. Use your own network and your resources. But I can tell you from personal experience that i.c.stars, if you apply and you're selected, you get through all the panel interviews and things like that. If they want you there, they will do whatever they can to help you be successful. You just have, like he said, you just have to commit. But I too was a teenage father in i.c.stars, so it works.
Thank you both, Larry. That was fantastic. I do, to go along with that, Austin Coming Together, our community hub, we are here for community members. That is very literally the purpose of us. So if you have any needs at all that i.c.stars might not be able to make and help meet with you, please feel free to reach out to the Austin Community Hub, and we will do our absolute best to help you figure out those resources and connect you with the right places so we can get this done for you. Another question that came up was, what about transportation? Marlon, you mentioned it's easily accessible via CTA. What if some people don't have access to public transportation resources? They might not have a venture card. Are there ways we can adjust that?
So I think just as we were talking about when it came to childcare issues and things like that, that is definitely something to direct a case manager to see what can be done. But I know everyone's situation is different. And that's the reason why, interestingly enough, we want to let everyone know about this opportunity, but there are at most 25 slots. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to get in now. But the reason for that is because there are a lot of different resources that we want to pour into people so that they can make it through this 16 weeks. And so any instances or any challenges that you may have like that, we can definitely talk through those.
Okay. Alrighty. So to everyone watching today, if you've got something coming up, whether it be i.c.stars or Austin Community Hub, we've got you. We will help make this work for you. Another question that has come up is, will there be drug testing?
Great question. So here's what I'll say. We are not drug testing for i.c.stars. However, just like all the companies that you're going to be going into, we're holding that exact same standard. What does that mean? That means if you look at Chicago and marijuana is legalized, right? So we're not testing for that. But if you come in high, you're going to get fired, right? Same with alcohol. You're all adults, right? But if you come in smelling of alcohol, you're going to get fired. Right? It's important to understand that even though we're not testing, we are preparing you for these roles at these really great companies, and they'll do the exact same thing. They may not test you coming in, but they'll absolutely hold you to that standard. So just so everyone is clear, that's how things will run at i.c.stars, including when you're operating virtually, right? I want you to treat when you're operating virtually as your home office. So you don't come in under any influence saying like, but I'm at home. No, you're in the office. That's why I have my tie and my dress shirt on, because I'm in the office. So I hope that answers the question.
That does. Thank you. And in the similar field, what do you work with participants who have backgrounds?
Again, similar question. We don't do background checks, but we ask for that information because we want the companies to know. Every company has their own background policies, and the companies might do a background check. So we need to know going in, this is a great candidate. Maybe in their past they had a misdemeanor or felony or things like that. But we're all being upfront and honest so that no one's being hit with a surprise. And it'll also help us in connecting you with a company where that might not be as big an issue, right? So we ask that you tell us, but that will not bar you from the program.
All right. Let me double check. Let's see. We have a couple more questions. So you mentioned the deadline or the start of the program is August 30th. Is there a deadline to have the applications in?
Great question. So you'll definitely want them in as soon as possible. The week before August 30th, they want to have the class verified, right? We want to know everyone who's coming in within that week. So if I check my calendar, we have until the week of the 23rd.
Okay.
Right? So again, 4 weeks. It is plenty of time to complete the application and the assessments. But I definitely want to be one of those people that says, get in early, get your acceptance in and relax so that you can get things done, get things put in place in your personal life to start this 16-week journey.
All right. Okay. And if anybody needs help with that application process, again, as well, we're over here available if you need help writing a cover letter, resume, we've got you.
Yes, please do that. I know one of the questions is, do you need a resume? And the answer is yes, you do need a resume. And so taking advantage of what Austin Coming Together offers is going to make sure that those of you who may not have a resume will have one by the time you apply.
Okay. And speaking of resumes, I have made a few resumes myself here at Austin Coming Together, and I gotta say the ones I've made here look a lot better than the one I made for myself. So if you come to Austin Coming Together, we've got you. Final question that looks like it might be kind of a hard one. So you mentioned that the age limit is 18 and you have to be 18 in order to register for the program. What if you are 17, but by the time you're graduating or something else occurs, you will be 18?
So you're saying, for example, I'm 17 now, but by the time I become an intern, I'll be 18 years old?
Yes.
Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk. Because, of course, the reason why you need to be 18 is because a company needs to hire you, right? And if you're not 18, that's not going to happen. So we can definitely talk through that. Just so you know, all the requirements are the same, and it's really important. This is the other thing that I want you to ask yourself, because it's a great opportunity, even if you're a young lady or a young man, is it will require a level of commitment that maybe hasn't happened yet to you before. But if you feel like this is something you really, really want to do and want to springboard your career into, then yeah, let's talk.
All right. And it looks like we actually just had another question pop up. I know this is something that we addressed briefly during your presentation, but it's asking, can any part of the internship be done work from home? And will there be career opportunities that are work from home as well?
It's so interesting. I was just addressing it in the chat. But every company is different, right? So, for example, the three who are being extended offers today, they will be on site. But every company is different. I would want to be on site too if it was the Sears Tower. But as far as i.c.stars is concerned and how we're doing this hybrid model, when we're meeting in studio, we require you to be there. And the reason is, equally important to the success of this cycle is that you're all working together. And at some points you might be working together on a screen, but there's also value in working together in the same space. Don't worry, we're going to be following COVID guidelines. We're going to keep you safe. But it's really important that when we're meeting, you're meeting. So I hope that answers the question.
I think it does. I think we are good on that one. That is all the questions I have, unless we have any last minute ads in the chat.
Yeah, I got one question here.
All right.
i.c.stars is always evolving. The curriculum's always changing. Technology is always growing. Let's just say you graduated or commenced from cycle 2. Could you reapply?
I would have to find out about that. He's just giving me a question that stumped me. I will absolutely have to find out about something like that. But what if I made this time in real quick, is that I've seen that that our alums, present company included, have done a pretty good job of sort of running with their own development. And so some of them are walking circles around. Well, they're all walking circles around me. I'm not into programming, but they are. And I hate to speak for Larry, but they're doing things that are way more than what they were doing when they were interns, because they're leaders now. And some of them are entrepreneurs now. So we're just giving you that seed, but the plant that grows is yours.
Yeah, and it was just kind of a teaser saying that even after 20 years, I still go back to i.c.stars, and I'm still motivated and inspired by the people that are there and the technology that's being taught. Right, and I have these conversations with people that are just learning, and then when they talk to me, I'm like, shoot, I want to go home and study a little bit more tonight. Like it just keeps going. It's really good. Just want to throw that in there. But thanks, Mom. Thanks, Janelle.
Hey, we appreciate the brain teasers. Those are the best kinds of questions. All right.
The alum for this organization, like the alum are one of the strongest factors for this organization. I was just speaking with the workforce development manager. She's the one who actually places people, and she talks about getting calls and emails from alums all the time being like, hey, I'm in a position now. I want to bring some people on from i.c.stars, right? So, and we're fully expecting those of you who graduate to become bosses who hire future i.c.stars. Remember about giving back? This is how you pay it forward.
All right. And don't forget those of us behind you. Some of us aren't as tech savvy, so we might need help. All right, well, if there aren't any more questions, we've got 10 minutes to spare, but if no one has any other questions, I'm also not opposed to letting everyone have 10 minutes of their day back. So can we give a giant thank you, everyone, to i.c.stars and all the incredible work that they do. I am extremely grateful to have gotten to work with the both of you throughout this process and planning this event. It's fantastic. I love the presentation, love the work that you do. Austin community members, come on over to me, come on over to Marlon and Larry, and we'll get you connected. Let me toss Marlon's contact information up really quick again, just so anybody who wasn't able to grab it can grab it now. Okay, so just as a reminder, Marlon's email, he is the recruitment manager. He'll be the one who'll be helping you throughout the process. This is his email down here. And then the phone number that is associated with the Chicago destination is the one you'll be calling to get some more information. So that's the 312-640-3850. And remember, if you have more questions, you're always welcome to reach out to us here at Austin Coming Together. My name is Janelle. I am the Community Hub Coordinator. It is very literally my job to be a resource to the Austin community, so reach out to me, because otherwise I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, and I love talking to community members, so come on out. But that is all we have today, so thank you so much for everything. I'm not sure what happened with that, but we're just going to get rid of that. So thank you, i.c.stars. Thank you to the Austin community team, who I got the chance to work with, and they worked a lot to help me make this happen. But that is our presentation for the day. So thank you everyone for participating, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you all. It was a pleasure.